Yeah, good morning all. Nice to be nice. Thank you all for joining it. So I hope that I'm audible to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So shall we start? We shall start.
Yes, you can start.
Yeah. So this session is basically recording. So even if somebody joins late or maybe they want to see it later, or you can pass it on to somebody else, you can do that. So I hope that every one of us here is super admin of their respective platform. Yeah. So is there anybody that who is not a super admin or they joined as a supervisor or various different roles? Okay, so I hope that everyone is super admin. So just okay, so let me start it. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. So is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir, your voice is very low. You are not able to hear properly. Your voice is very low.
Okay, give me a minute. I will. Now, how is it now? Is it good?
Yeah, now it is. Yeah, now it is good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you for letting me know. So I hope that my screen is visible to all of you. And for the good streaming purpose, I'm just stopping my video. Yeah. So in today's session, what we will go through the suggestion Kaizen super admin part, right? So there are various modules, but we will specifically look for the Kaizen, and there are some common settings. So the super admin of this platform of various organizations, you can access it by going to the settings part, right? So this is the setting part. If you have the access of it, so you are basically super admin of it. Now, if I go to the super admin or maybe settings part of the platform, I'm seeing some of the various things here. Like, now I'm logged in with the Priya. So let me just log out again. I will log in with Rakesh because he seems to have all the access. Now, if I log in with the super admin things, I'll just go to the settings part here. In the settings part on the left hand side, you have a lot of different menus. Now, one of them is basically the common settings. Okay, so we will first go through the common settings and then we'll go to the suggestions, all the parts. So we'll try to cover it up, the small things in between that. If you have any queries, then you can ask right away at that time, or maybe you can just type in. Okay, so in the common settings, you can see the branch, department, employee, access management, gift and reward, and user notification, right? So these are the various menus that you have it. If I go to the branch, so what you can do over here, you can edit the branch name or location name over here. Okay, so this is whatever the name that you are showing it over here, it will be gonna commit in various things. So only super admin can change the location name and the branch name. Now you can't add any location here because it's basically from the backend we used to add locations if I want to add any extra plant. Okay, you can upload your organization logo over here. So that is, you can choose the organization logo and upload it here. So this logo will come at the on the login page, right, where you will have your organization's logo over there. So this is regarding the branch. When I say branch, it's a plant, basically manufacturing facility. That from that perspective, we are considering the branch. Now we'll talk about the department. So usually we used to add departments while onboarding the plants or when the onboarding is going on. But what happens is that you may need to update, edit, delete the plants if at all needed, right? So we have the department section and one is a line section. Okay. Now, here you have to select the branch or the plant, which plant that you want to edit it. So you can edit, you give the department name over here is maintenance department. So this is a, you can check this box so that, it will be considered as a maintenance department. So name of the department could be anything, but you can update it over here. And if you don't want to make that particular department as a maintenance, you can just, uncheck it and that should be done. If you want to edit this particular thing, it's very easy, simple. You can just, click on the edit button and you can edit the things. You can also delete the department, but, you have to take utmost care when you are doing this because it's impacting entire things, because what you are giving it over here is visible to the across organization, right? So super admin things, you have to do it very, very carefully. Now, why line? So line, as you know that it may possible that departments like, for example, production. Now production or assembly have multiple lines or multiple sub departments. Okay, so to accommodate that part, we have considered the line. So in the production department, let's say I have the shaft cell. I can add multiple, lines over here or different cells or zones as per nomenclature of your, your organization. So you can add those lines. So what happens is that in that zone or in that line, you have, let's say 20 people, 15 people, 25 people. So those people can submit the ideas to themselves by selecting these lines or zones or cells, right? So this is the reason we have considered the line over here. Now you can edit, delete these lines over here. Okay. Now I'll go to the employee section. So this is branch, department, and employee section. Now in the employee section, you can see that there is a drop down where you can select plant specific employees or all employees, right? There is a search button over here. I can search whichever the employee that I want to search. Let's say I want to search, Raj. Okay, so there is various Raj. Okay. So I can search here. Now, here you can add single employee by clicking single addition. So here there is an asterisk, red sign, red asterisk. That means it's a mandatory fields like branch, which location, that is mandatory. First name, department, date of joining. These are some of the mandatory information. Rest of the information is, you can fill it as soon as, it's always good to have all the information like mobile number. You'll get the notifications, SMS, or you can use that mobile number for the login ID. So employee ID is again same. Even if it is a personal one, you can keep it so that employees can get the notifications there, right? So this is how it is, and there is a level type. So here you can define what kind of employee he or she is, like operating engineer, staff or manager, associate. So you can define that type in this section. So you can add single employee. Okay. Now anniversary date. So probably what you used to do is that you select the anniversary date, right? So birth date, like the date of birth, right? So these are the dates that is important to the employee, and if they give it, usually the system sends them the greetings, best wishes for their on a birthday and anniversary dates. So this is one part. Now second part is that bulk upload, right? So it is possible that you want to bulk upload the employees. So you can get the sample file download first. Okay, you get the sample file. I'll just download it first. Now, if I have to upload bulk, so let's say this is how it is. I have to give all the details over here. Okay, date of joining. So all this is in the employee addition employee. So I need to add all these employees in the same file, and you have to save this file. Once you save this file with all the information, then you can upload it here, and you can bulk upload with the specific plant. So let's say if you have multiple plants, you can define, okay, which plant that I want to upload it. This is one. Now you can also download entire details into the Excel file. So you will have the dump of all your employees into the Excel. Okay, so this is an export Excel file that you can have it. Now you can see that active, inactive, and verified. Now, so these are the three things you can see that over here, right? So basically, green is basically those who logged in. The red is basically they are yet to log in, and this is basically it's a verified one. They have verified the details over there. There is various sections, so you can let's say I want to see that only 2 plants. So you can select. So let's say I want to select the only Chakan plant employees, right? So you can select over there. Now you can see that there is 3 dots. Okay. Here you have multiple options. You can edit that employee. You can reset the password of that employee. You can delete that employee, and you can transfer those actions. Let's say transfer actions is what happens. So one of the employee left. So what happens once he left? There could be the possibility that there are various pending action items at his or her end, right? So first thing is that either you have to ask them before they leave, or maybe at the end of the last day, you ask them to transfer all their, or maybe get it done, all the pending action items. Or if they have not done it, then you can do the transfer action over here. So let's say this is the transfer action functionality. This is a recent release. We have added this functionality. On the 31st of May, we have added this functionality where you have various modules. Now this is a Gautam. Gautam has pending actions on suggestion module. 31 pending action items are there, right? So what I can do, I can just bulk select, right? I can select the employee, and then I can submit it. I can transfer it, right? So all these 31 will be going to go to the different. Or you can also do that. You can select one by one. Let's say there is a productivity based on the Kaizens. You want to select, you want to send it to the only few people. Okay. Or you want to select all the suggestions that is coming under the Gautam should go to the X person. So you can select that person name over here. Okay. So this is bulk transfer of pending action items in case that employee get transferred to the rest of the other vertical, or maybe he moved out from the organization, he left, or maybe his assignment is getting changed, so that you can do it module wise. So if you have the audit, all the audit action items will be you can transfer it in one go. Okay. Then the Kuber, Skillbook, PMS. So these are some of the modules that we have added it. So in order to transfer it, you have to transfer all of them, and then you can be able to delete the employee. Without transferring, if any employee has pending action items against him or her, you can't be able to delete him or her, okay, from the system. So this is very much important functionality that we have recently added. So you can utilize this whenever your employees are left, or you want to delete those employees to, or you want to revoke the access of the employees of the system. So once you delete it, employees can't be able to access the system from outside, or they will not be able to log into their system or the mobile app, right? So this is very, very important that if the employees are moving out, you need to delete them from the system as soon as possible. Now, it could be possible that there are certain integrations that we have done it with you. For example, there is a Darwin Box, Success Factor, or there are certain various third-party tools. So this provision could have already been there. Let's say you're from the HRMS system. Let's say Ascent you are using, right? So if somebody left it, so myeNovation automatically gets to know, okay, this person is left. So it will be going to disabled from the system, but transfer actions that you have to do it by your own, because you know it that these pending action items, whom to transfer, right? So this is the new function that we have added. Now I'll go to the access management. See, the access management is again one of the critical aspect, because here you can define who can access what, right? And you can access, it's at the organization level, at the plant level, at the user level, at the module level. You can define the access of each and everything through this setup part. So as you know that we have various roles within the system, right? For example, you have the super admin, employee, executive, right, implementer, finance controller, and all, CEO. So there are various roles, right? So now what happens is that you have a super admin, right? You have all the access of the system. Now you can also come back over here. You can also check it out. Even if it's super admin, you can still define who can access what. Now this is the role based access. Okay, so you can define what super admin can have, what kind of access that person will have it, right? Now you can also define, let's say employee is a role. This is again important part. Okay, now if role is an employee, what all things that you want to give the access of the system. In terms of the suggestion, if I talk, see, setting employee will not have the access. Okay, everything is disabled. Now we will talk about the suggestion. Okay, now suggestion, you have various features. Okay, so here the dark one or selected one can be able to accessible by the employee role. Those who have only employee role. Now here suggestion, winners board, all suggestion, export Kaizen. Now you can say, you can check. Do you want your employees to export the Kaizen, their own Kaizen I'm talking, okay? So this is an export Kaizen is a small functionality or small feature. Export certificate, yes, definitely. Their own certificate, they can download it. Report section, do you want your employees to have the access of the reports section? So if you want to have it, you can just keep it, report, they will have the access, they can access the reports from their login ID, okay? Now, redeem point, happiness index, redemption, HUD monitoring, happiness index, right? So, happiness index report I'm talking, then the managed suggestion document. So, you can define what all things that your employee will have the access. So, I would say nominate Kaizen. Let my employees nominate their Kaizens to the jury. Right, so you can define that nominate Kaizen as a feature. Lateral suggestion. Lateral suggestion is nothing but the Kaizens which is basically being implemented outside of the myeNovation system, where they don't have, they have not initialized, but if somebody has got the idea and they just implemented it. Now, once they implemented it, it should go to the system. Now, how it go to the system? To the lateral suggestion, lateral entry. So there they have to give all the details of the Kaizen so that it becomes the part of the knowledge bank. Okay. So you are already given the knowledge bank access to them. If not, you can also check back to your role based or role model mapping. You select the employee, you can select what kind of access your employees have. If you want to give them a dashboard access, you can give them a dashboard access, the plant wise. So you can define plant level, org level dashboard. So based on this, the people or employees can see the details there itself. Okay. So this is how the role model mapping. Now I will shift to the role user mapping. Okay. Now, based on the user, now you may say that, okay, Raj, I have given the with the employee details, I have given the access, but I want to for the specifically for few users, I want to give access of all. Let's say what I'm now doing is that I'm searching that person. Okay, now I will check somebody else so that okay, here let's say it's a Gautam. Okay, Gautam is not a super admin. He's a employee. He's also controller, evaluator, implementer, and becomes a plant head. So I can just remove that plant head role of this employee. Let's say even if okay, so I can't be able to remove it because there could be certain pending action items at his end. as a capacity of the plant head. So I can select which role that I can give it from here. So any user, you can give multiple roles, right? Here as an employee, then the controller, evaluator. So I can define various roles over here. This is role user mapping. Okay. Now user access control. Now here, what I can do is that, I have the various, people, let's say, so I can define who can access what. So let me just select again the Gautam. Now this is the Gautam, right? Now what Gautam can have the access. So let's say there are various modules. Now you must be having, most of you have the Kaizen, definitely. There are also various modules like skill book, PMS, near miss. Okay, so you can give the access of modules to the particular users. So here PMS, skill book, then the survey, suggestions, settings. So you can define that access and you can give it from here. Okay, you can add the user access also here. You can define who can have what kind of access. So let's say I want to give the access to Gautam. Let's say this is Gautam. Okay. Now Gautam already have the access of this, but Gautam do not have access of all this. So for the particular user, I can give the even if it is a role is employee, I can give access of all of them. Okay, I can define. Let's say you can have the access to nominate, dashboard, happiness index, customer feedback, guest suggestion, HUD monitoring, manage suggestion document. So now for particular user, I am giving the access to all. It is not necessary that for the only role you can give the access. For particular employee also, I am able to give the access. Okay. Now there is a fourth level access control, that is a plant level access control. Now many of you have the multiple plants. Okay, so you can define who will have access of what. So at the corporate level, everyone will have the access of all the plant. But at the plant level, you can restrict that access of the various plants from this system over here. So let's say I have now here in the system, we have the 3 manufacturing facilities. So let me just check. Okay, I can consider Gautam, I can give the access to Gautam to the 2 plants. One is Chakan plant and one is basically Nasik plant. So I am giving the access of the 2 plants to the Gautam, so that he can access, he can various information can see from the both the plants. Okay, so this is very much required when you have the Kuber, when you have audit, right? So these are the features where you want to have a cross-functional access of the system. In the audit, you can do the cross-functional audit of different plants. So this is what the plant access control is there. So this is from the access management or access control. So you can control and monitor and facilitate the access of the system through this menu. Now I'll go to the gift and reward. Now here you can have category, result area, vendors, admin, rewards, and the communication. Okay. Here what we are trying to do here is that you can define, okay, what is the category name, what is the description. Okay. So this is basically I'm adding certain the categories over here. Okay. Let's say I'm considering it's kind of gift vouchers, or it's kind of the awards or rewards, what kind of reward that you want to give it. So I'm considering electronic device, so its description is a device. If I can add mobile, right, mobile, then the description is you can give what kind of mobile it's probably Samsung or LG or anything. Now you can define this product's name over here. Now you can define the vendors. Now who are the vendors? Vendors who you have, let's say you have the merchandise items. You may be having the a few vendors, those who are managing those those gifts or awards basically, right? So you can have all the list of them. Now you can also define the admins. Who are the admins of how many admins that you want to have it per plant or one plant, multiple plants. Okay. So here you can define. You can define the gift code. Now in the gift code, you can define what is the category, with clothing, cash, electronic devices, and you can define what is the gift title. So gift title could be anything: pen drive, or mobile, or jacket, or iron, or anything. Now you can define how many points it worth. So let's say I'm giving the pen drive. You can define the brownie point. How many brownie point that you want to deduct? So 250 points. Now, what is the amount that is associated with that brownie point? That also you can define. And you can add this gift. Now, here I'm adding the gifts, and then I'm making the communication basically. Now, for the various gift title, who is the vendor and who is the admin, who is the point of contact at your plant, right? So this is a mapping that we are doing it in the reward and recognition. But here you have to be very, you have to define how many brownie points that you want to have it. What is the value of every brownie point? It impacts your budget. So you have to be, you can connect with us and you can define this. We always suggest that. Okay, so the notifications you can define now. Birthday, anniversary. This what happens. There is a people here. You can add the concerned person so that for the month, you will get the details of on this month how many employees have the birthdays and how many employees have the anniversaries. Okay, so this is the list of people, those who should get the details of all the I would say information about the birthdays and anniversaries. So this is the part of the common setting. Is there any queries regarding this? I'll probably take some of the queries from the common setting. Now, those who joined late, we have covered common settings, branch, department, employee section. We have added one of the new feature, which is basically transfer actions of all the modules. So this is one of the feature that we have added. You can see it later. Then we have the access management. Access management we have gone through. We have gone through the gift and rewards. If you have any queries on that, you can always connect to our support team and they will guide you how to set up it. So is there any queries so far? Or maybe you can type in.
Raj, I have one query.
Yes, sir.
Like as a user, I made one Kaizen for self-implementation. And for some reason, I'm not able to do that Kaizen. And then I left the organization. So that Kaizen belongs to that user only, and he is not able to. So in that case, if I am not able to transfer, how can his action point can be completed and the user can be deleted?
Okay, so let's say now this is a good case basically. Let's say one of the employee has an pending action items, I would say, okay, at his end, and now he left it. Now what you have to do is that probably you have to go to the employee section. Okay, you go to the employee section, you find the name of the employee. Let's say I'm finding the name of the Gautam. Okay, now you have the Gautam, then the 3 dots, you define, you go to the transfer action part. Okay, now first what you have to do is that you have to define how many pending action items on various modules he has it. And now ये जो pending action items है, whatever the pending action items that he has it, to whom you want to transfer it, because somebody has to take the responsibility or maybe take it forward. So those pending action items you have to transfer it to the new person. Maybe you can split those action items. Let's say now here in this case 31 action items are there in the suggestion module. Now you can partly transfer it to the few people or one person, partly to the one person, right? Or you can select all of them and you can select the name of that person. So all the action items will be sent to them. Once you make sure that everything is zero with all the modules, then you come back and you just say the delete. Is that answer your question?
Partly, but maybe we can visit it offline.
Yeah. So yeah, we will discuss in the offline. I think any other questions.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is Hariharan.
Yes, sir.
Can you access centralized all plant for employee?
Yeah. So you want to access all plants. So you are super admin, right, sir?
Now I am super admin.
Yeah.
But some of our department heads sitting in corporate office. Okay, you have separated plant to plant all the employees. So the controller unable to map our head, department head.
Okay, controller unable to map the head. So, okay. So this is the access management, actually, access control management. Now what you can do is that, this is, you can go to the access management.
Okay.
Now, there is a plant access control. Now you have, let's say, 2, 3, 4 plants.
Right.
Now you can define who are those people and how control that you want to give it to them. Let's say
I have already done this thing from SMBM to Annasal plan. I mapped 2 plants, but his login not showed any one of Annasal plant employees.
Okay, his login is not able to see the his plant details, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what we will do, sir? Maybe we will discuss in detail. We will just see the offline. After this training, probably we will. You can share the screen. You let me know who want to have that, what kind of access, and then we will close that basically.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
do you have any one option? One more. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please. Yeah, please.
So, do you have any one option? We are at present. Any employee instantly submit one suggestion. We are giving one momentum of pen. Okay. Can you provide any tick mark?
For what?
This suggestion ID we are giving one token of advance. Something else.
Token of advance.
Yes.
So token
we are giving one pen instantly.
Okay.
Out of this not including points. Nothing. We are motivating for giving this pen.
Wonderful, great. So what you are doing is that once employee is submitting, you are immediately giving certain token amount to that employee, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you are he has to only show that suggestion ID, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I want any mark. I already given this ID. Some ID is not given. Can you search anything?
I don't know. So we have to discuss offline because it's a new thing. Probably we'll see that how we can integrate, because now let's say you are giving certain points. We will take it offline, sir. I don't want to disturb everybody's time over here. So
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sachinji.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Suresh here. How are you?
Good morning, Suresh, sir.
Sachin sir.
Yeah.
One question I got from my counterparts, Ashwini and Co. Right, on the gifts and rewards section.
Okay.
Can I just go back to the menu?
Yeah, gifts and rewards. Yeah.
Yeah. This is on the various categories, vendors, admin, rewards, and communication.
Right.
The various parameters. Who sets these parameters, and is it going to be regularized across the company?
Okay. So you can define what kind of gift merchandise items that you want to give it.
No, is the type of item going to be regularized across, or is it left to the individual plants to decide?
So you can define at the organization level.
Organization level involves all 4.
Yes, you have to define
4 locations. So it is going to be centrally decided. That's how it is.
Yes, centrally designed, but you can define which plant or which location who is responsible for that. Right. So, for example, for the Chakan plant, who is the admin for the gift and reward. Okay. So likewise, you can have the responsibilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sachin sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So Raj here, sir, this side. Suresha sir, this is the Raj here. Sachin is not there today.
Okay. Raj.
Yeah.
Raj. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So, any other questions, or I'll move it to the next one, next session. So we'll go to.
Sir, one more question, sir.
Yes, sir.
How to, instead of delete the employee, how to deactivate the employee? There is any option?
Okay, you want to deactivate this? You want to delete the employee, right?
It's a delete the employee. It's a delete from history, employee history.
Yeah. So again, I'll go to the employee. Even if you go to the employee, there is the 3 dots. There is the option of delete. So by deleting, it is basically that person may not be able to access, the system. Let's say this is I'll consider the Vishwaraj Chari. Okay. Now I don't want to give the access to the Vishwaraj now, or maybe I want to delete from this environment. I'll go and I'll delete it. So he no more. But if I can't delete, why? Because could be the possibility that I can't. There is a transfer action items at Vishwaraj Chari's son. Okay. So I'll just check it out. Is there any transfer action items are there? So no. So there is no transfer action, so you can remove it.
Okay, but we are not able to view the previous suggestions also. If I delete it.
No. If you delete that employee, their suggestions will be there in the system.
Okay. Employee number wise.
Yes, all the details, all the data will be gonna there with his or her name, but they can't be able to access anymore.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, great. Any other questions? So
yeah, we have some question on chat box.
Yeah, okay. We have questions on the chat box. What is the significance of ticking department as a maintenance? Rakesh, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, so basically that ticking option in department, to use in DWM, now that tick option is deprecated now, so we are not using that option.
Okay.
So we were using in DWM, not in suggestion.
Okay, it's in the DWM, so it's not in for the suggestion, right?
Right.
Okay. So those who are using the suggestion, okay, fine, that's good. So let me move on to the next part. That is basically the suggestion workflow, screen customization and all. So we'll go one by one. I'll go to the suggestion workflow. So this is once you set up, you can't be able to change or modify. So I'll not touch base over here. So we have initialization, scrutinization, evaluation, implementation, assessment. This is usually various flows. Now I go to the screen customization. Okay, this is one of the important part. Now you can see there is a suggestion form initiator where initiator can access. On this suggestion form, there are various things that you can you have it on this. For example, do you want to add the line? Line is nothing but sub department. In the production, you have the sales, zones, line. So we say it line. You may say it cell at your end. But do you want to add it? So once you add it, then there is an opportunity to select the line in the suggestion form. Okay, I'll just open it. Okay, I'm here. So I'll go back. Suggestion here, and there is a plus button over here. So this is the suggestion form, right? Now in this suggestion form, what all I have it is basically the plant. Suggestion for department, category, result area, then the problem statement, suggestion statement, before image, and then there is please tick the checkbox on behalf of and all, right? So you may want to have certain more fields over here. It depends on organization to organization. We have given this flexibility. Let's say you want to add the suggestion source. Now suggestion source is nothing but these are the various campaigns that you run it. For example, quality month, maybe you have safety month or safety campaign where you want to focus on certain ideas. So this suggestion source you can define those suggestion source in the system. Then you have the category. You can define, if you uncheck it, category will not be gonna there. If you uncheck the suggestion source, it will not be gonna seen in the suggestion form. Self-implemented. So if you untick it, right, self-implemented option will not be there for the employees. There is a benchmark, target, other benefits. So these are the various elements on your suggestion form where you can have ability to add or remove. But this is again one-time decision that you want to make it. So let's say if you want to add the target. Now you have to educate the people, like what is the target, how to set that target, what is the benchmark, how to set that benchmark. So this is also part of the education. So slowly you can decide and take a call on that, right? So this is your part of the suggestion form. Okay, it's clear. Now I'll go to the evaluator. Now evaluator also has various options. Okay, for example, do you want your evaluator to have the change document management? Now, if you untick it, change document will not be the part for the evaluator. Do you want to have the Kaizen activity? Now, your Kaizen activity, change document, that the particulars, these are the evaluation metrics, then the horizontal deployment, require financial approval, TPM evaluation, SAP code. So you can see that these are the flexibility given to the organization. So based on their need, you can check it and check it out. Maybe let's say here you say required Kaizen sustenance. Now, if you require Kaizen sustenance, evaluator can be able to define whether that particular Kaizen needs to go under the sustainability or not. SAP code, right? SAP code. So if you are using any SAP, you can, if you are using some parts and then you want to define something, you can use this SAP code functionality. Then the TPM evaluation is another one. So these are the nothing but small features embedded into the system. If you add the Kaizen activity, okay, then you can have this JH, KK pillars in the system, and you can see also in your Kaizen form. So this is for the evaluator. Now, each one of them has certain meaning for that. If you have any queries on that part, please do let us know. For example, horizontal deployment. Now, evaluate here, if you uncheck it, evaluator can't be defined horizontal deployment of the Kaizens internally and also externally. Okay. Now, required finance approval. Again, now if you remove this, evaluator can't be able to send any budgetary approval needed. Let's say if you check in, now evaluator have an ability, he can define that, okay, I need 50,000 rupees for implementing this Kaizen, and he can send it to the the finance approval authority. So these are the various small features that you can see it. Change document, any query that you have it, you can connect to us, connect to me or support team. They will let you know the details of it. Now, implementation, right? Implementer will also have various features, like he can capture the benefits, then implementation action, on hold, reject, finance verification, then again horizontal deployment at the implementer, YY analysis. He can also input the YY analysis over there, Kaizen sustenance details required. So you can define what kind of features that you want to have it, so that implementer can give the details. All the details given by the implementer will be always helpful. It will become as a part of the knowledge bank for the other employees, right? So you can define as per your need. Again, this is circle. Circle is basically the pillar-based things. Those organizations who are driving the Kaizen or suggestion based on the TPM philosophy, they can also have these options. Like you can define, do you want a pillar, circle, stage, machine part, operation. So you can tick it, it will be there. If you don't tick it, it will not become there, right? So this is about the screen customization. Now, there is a horizontal deployment configuration, HD configuration we used to say. Now, what is this HD configuration? As you said, there are two things. One is basically we have the two mechanisms, one department level Kaizen system and one is basically TPM based Kaizen system. Okay. Now, whichever your system is there, you can define. If it's the department level, let it be as it is. If it's pillar, it will be there. Horizontal deployment option. Now, here you can select. Do you want all your Kaizens done in the one plant, must and mandatory to be shared or pass it on to the rest of the other plants? So this is where the option is. And here, this is optional for other plants. Now you can make it optional, whether evaluator can decide whether this Kaizen needs to go to the another plant or not. So this is mandatory and optional because what happens, many organizations do a lot of Kaizens, and those Kaizens are sometimes 5 years Kaizens or small Kaizens also getting assigned to the other plants. So to remove the burden from other plants, you can define optional, only value added Kaizen, best Kaizen that you can share with the other organization, where they can get other plants where they can get the benefit out of it. Okay, so this is part of the horizontal deployment configuration. The TPM suggestion setup. So those who are driving the TPM methodology, this is for them. This is, you can come here, you can add the circle, stage, product family, product number, machine, operations, and also you can edit it over here. So I will not go into the details over here because it's a simple setup configuration part. Okay, then the winners board customization. Here, the plant wise, you can have the customization, little bit flexibility that you can have it. Now, there are 4 sections: winners board, employee of the month, department of the month, and top Kaizen. Okay, so these are the 4 things that is automatically been there. But you can define employee of the month or department. On all of them are based on the brownie point mechanism that I will see it as we go ahead, because these are automatically populated winners board for you. To make sure that it is working, you have to set up the first brownie point system. Now the display. Rakesh, do you want to share the details over here? Can you just explain this part?
Yeah. So, okay. So in suggestion brownie point, we have a 4 tab, right? So based on configuration, Rasir, can you please scroll up? Scroll up. Yeah. So so in suggestion winner board, we have a 4 tab: winner board, employee of the month, department of the month, and top Kaizen. So suppose you want to display only 2 tab in winners board and employee of the month. So you just configure those tick option and just save it. Okay. So that will display only 2 tab. Now below configuration is related to winners board calculation. Okay. So so how we want to display the how we should calculate how system calculate the winners board. So according to here configuration, system will calculate like should system consider only maximum brownie point or display winners board as per category. So suppose we ticked on display top employee per category. So for all category, you will have category wise winners board. If you want only one employee, so you can just tick on display employee with maximum point.
Okay, thank you, Rakesh. So this is the winners board customization. Now I'll go to the benefits and category part. Here, tier type, impact type. So Rakesh, can you give us a brief about, because few of or many organizations define their categories in 2 tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. Okay, tier 1 is basically the here you can say 5 years, morale, safety. These are considered tier 1 and tier 2. So you can Rakesh, can you just
Yeah. So, we have a configuration tier type. So tier 1 and tier 2. Okay, so what happened to suppose anyone gives suggestion on productivity, and if productivity is a tier type 2, okay, so that means that process will on that suggestion, controller, evaluator, and implementer, 3 steps will be followed. But suppose someone give suggestion on quality, that is tier 1. So once once the suggestion is assigned to controller will directly assign that tier 1 suggestion to implementer, because that suggestion is tier 1.
Right. So you can define, it's basically, evaluation is skipped, okay, in the tier 2 process. Okay. For the tier 1, it is mandatory to have the evaluation. So you can define that kind of mechanism over here. For example, and why we used to do that is basically to reduce the burden on the evaluator, because I would say small impact ideas, for example, fires things, right? Fires ideas. So if the supervisor is okay, he can just skip the evaluation, ask employees to implement it, right? So it is basically to lower out the burden from the evaluator. Okay. Now, here, that is how it is the benefits that you can define. You can define, like, if it is a productivity, how much brownie point that you're going to give it. So likewise, you can have that benefits defined in the system. And if this benefit is, you get this benefit, how much brownie point that you want to give that particular Kaizen. So all the benefits that I'm defining over here, and I'm defining certain brownie points associated to them. So what happens, let's say when implementer is selecting, okay, I got a benefit of production improved, I got a benefit of customer satisfaction, then that implementer will get 25 brownie points for that Kaizen. Okay. So likewise, you can define this part over here. And also you can add, modify, edit this. So this is benefits and category. Now, hereafter, it will be kind of simple. So here, you have the controllers, evaluators, implementers. Now, you can have the controllers for the department, as well as you have the controllers for the lines or the cells or the zones, so that, specific, the controllers, you can assign it for them. Okay. So, again, for the circle level controller for the TPM based methodology, it's the same. Now you can have multiple controllers for a particular department, so that, Kaizens will be going to assign to them on a round robin fashion. Same with the evaluator. Now here, there are 4 types. I just given a brief idea about this. Now, evaluator for department. So you can have, like, similarly as we have it for the controller, but there is someone called evaluator for HD. Okay. Now, who is that evaluator for HD is? Let's say, take an example. We have the 2 plants. One is basically in Chennai. One is in, let's say, in Pune. Now, Pune has Raj as a horizontal deployment evaluator. Now, any Kaizen implemented at Chennai, it will be routed to Pune through the evaluator of horizontal deployment. So Raj is the HD evaluator. So Kaizen, implemented Kaizen at Chennai will come to me first, and then I have to either approve or reject, and then it will go to the implementation at the Pune facility. Okay. So this is how one horizontal deployment evaluator will be there to access, manage the ideas or Kaizens from the other plants. Okay. Similarly, evaluator for pillar, evaluator for guest suggestion. Okay, this is again one of the aspects. Now you must have seen the guest suggestion module, right? Where you are accepting the ideas from your guest, be it in the in the factory, or be it in the reception, be it in the your gate area. So you can accept those guest suggestions. Now, who will be gonna admin for that? So this is the evaluator for all the guest suggestions. Similarly, evaluator for the customer feedback. Now, if you have, let's say in your factories, your customers used to visit, right? So if they give any ideas, okay, so for them, there is an specific evaluator, so that all customer related feedbacks, ideas will be controlled by this particular evaluator. Okay. This is an implementer now. Again, it's a simple thing. You have implementer plant specific. You can have the guest implementer, like all the ideas coming from the guest and customer. So these are the nominated people, but it is not mandatory that only these people should be there to implement. You can have all the employees. You can select anyone from the system, but this is designated or nominated one. You can say that. Then there is the finance controller. Now, finance controller, there are two things. One is the finance approval and finance validator. This is a very important part. Finance approval is the person for the budgetary approval. Now, evaluator defines the budget and it goes to the finance approval person. So this is the one. Finance validator is basically the cost saving person. Now, I claimed, let's say 1 lakh rupees is getting saved. And implementer said, okay, it is 1 lakh is getting saved. Now, who is going to verify that? The finance validator. So he validates whether your saving is really happening on your balance sheet or not. So these are the two finance persons. They can be the same, but their roles are different. One is budgetary approval. One is the verifier of the cost saving. Change document management. Now, you must have various standard documents as a part of the organization. You can, select all these documents. You have to define who is the owner of those documents. And once you define this, you have to define the document verifier also. Okay, verifier in the sense, now let's say production document. Let's say Sanjay Sapra is the document owner, but somebody has to be there to verify that, okay, if tomorrow production document is getting changed, because of the Kaizen, Sanjay Sapra, who is the document owner, is updating that production document, and somebody is there to verify that, okay, Sanjay Sapra has done it. Okay, so owner and verifier, it's good to have it. If you don't have the verifier, you can at least have the owner of that document, right? So this is basically change document happened because of the Kaizen implementation. Now, talk about the configuration. Okay, configure. So this is basically the rejection escalation. So let's say this is if your Kaizen is getting rejected by the controller. Now there are 3 layers of escalation. So first level, once it is rejected by the controller, it will go to the X or the first level, that is Gautam. Even if Gautam rejects, it goes to the Ravidi. Even if it is rejected, it goes to the top level. So you can have 3, but you can define at least 1 or maybe none. So that is optional, that is up to you. So as you said that it's escalation, do you want it? If you don't want it, you just disable it. Escalation will not be part of your system. Then there is a brownie points. So here you can define who will get what, and do you want to also give them an ability to horizontal deployment brownie points also. Now here you have the roles like employee, status, points, HD applicable or not. That's it. So here, see, now any Kaizen implementation has a multiple people. One is the initiator, there is the evaluator, there is the implementer. So everyone should get certain things because it's collaborative efforts, right? So you can define how much brownie points should employee get, at what stage. Let's say employee should get 20 brownie points if idea is implemented, or maybe if idea is accepted. Okay, you get a 10 brownie point over here. Like for example, Hariharan or maybe somebody was talking that you are giving certain token amount. So rather than giving them a token amount, if they give the idea, give them 10 brownie point. Now this 10 brownie point will be nothing but their 10 rupees or 100 rupees, whatever. You can define, you can have that weightage. So here what I'll do, if employee is a role and the status is accepted by the controller, okay, or submitted for scrutinization. Means what? Employee has submitted idea. Now, if this is the case, you can define 10 or 100 rupees, whatever that amount you have decided. Now, what happens is that this 10 point is nothing but you can convert into the some amount. And this is in the record. You can have audited details. You will see that how many brownie points that have it. Now, tomorrow, if you are giving the 10 points, you can go to the and you can redeem that 10 points or 10 rupees from that their brownie point total. Okay, so also you can give the brownie points to the evaluator also. Now, why I'm considering this brownie point? Because this denomination you can convert into the various things. Okay, you can convert it into the rupees. You can convert it into the some action. Like for example, you can say 100 brownie points is equal to 10 rupees. You can say 100 brownie point equal to 100 rupees. That's up to you, right? But you can use this brownie point to reward and recognition. That way, you don't have to, make sure you tick mark that, okay, how much I have given, whether I have given it or not and all, right? So you don't have to remember everything. So this is the brownie point mechanism. You can give it to the any role that you want to have it based on your maturity model. Like, for example, now, if, somebody's told that, to motivate the employee, we are giving the idea, certain token amount to the employee. That's good, right? But after a certain time, you have to move it from just submitting to the next level, that is after implementation, kind of. So then the multiplication factor. So you can define what kind of levels, like employee level type, and what is the factor that you want to have. Like what is the now? I think it's a 12:35. I don't know. Everybody has certain meetings and all. So I can, maybe we can have another session, or maybe we can continue this another 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I'll finish up the rest of the part. Is that okay, everyone?
Hello, Raji.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt this, Suresh again.
Yeah, please.
So this part is also going to be regularized across the plants, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes. So this is again, this brownie point is the part of your RNR part only.
Okay. This is going to be a central thing which is being decided. That's right.
Yes. It is centralized. Also, it has an ability at the plant level modification also. You can also define plant wise.
Okay. And one more question.
Yeah.
See, at the implementation stage, I am both the evaluator as well as the implementer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. See, I have moved in a suggestion to the implementation level. There is some cost savings involved in that. In fact, rather, I have input the cost savings rather, and I have not taken the finance approval route.
Okay.
By mistake.
Okay.
So it has gone to the next level of implemented. It is an implemented suggestion with a cost saving. Without a finance approval.
Okay.
So we know the latent savings in that particular suggestion. So we have taken the face value of the amount which has been saved.
Right.
Without the finance approval. In this case, the screen, the dashboard screen shows the savings. It doesn't show, it shows the saving overall.
Yes.
As an organization level, but when you come to the branch level, it just shows so much amount is being saved, but without a finance approval.
Yes.
Finally, ultimately the savings is none.
Right. It will not be confirmed. So if it is confirmed by the finance, then only that confirmed amount will come into that.
So what do I do to revert it?
Okay. So you want to make sure that it is confirmed. You want to get it confirmed from the finance, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a particular case. Rakesh, can you just note it down? And maybe you can help it, Suresh, sir, to.
It can happen by oversight also, not purposefully.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Okay. So Rakesh, can you just note this down? So probably, maybe just have this settings that make it mandatory for the cost saving ideas to be verified by the finance person.
So it involves attaching some documents also before and after as an image. So wherever information available, we can substantiate with the data.
Right.
And question number 2 is there, if you have time.
Yeah, please.
The same implementation stage. I am supposed to enter the reason actually for implementation or the benefits rather. Sorry, on implementation stage, I'm going to keep it on hold. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to enter a reason for keeping it on hold.
Right.
Like it is to be the task involves across departmental operations, whatever it is, right?
Right.
I instead of the actual reason, I enter a wrong reason by oversight.
Okay.
I put it on hold.
Okay.
Instead of the right reason, by oversight, I put the wrong reason.
Okay.
And put it on hold. How do I rectify it?
Okay. So edit functionality probably could not have been there.
Yes.
Rakesh, I think we don't have the edit functionality when somebody is putting on hold, right?
No, it remains on hold as of now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that sounds good. So what we will do, only that person can probably will try to give them edit functionality. So Rakesh, just note it down. Those points, we will internally review. And
you can come back on us on mid June. There is one more I think upgrade, right?
Yes. So
probably with that we can include these 2 points.
Yes, sir. Yes, we will discuss internally and we'll update you on this front.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. One more. I'm Hari.
Yes, please, sir. Yeah.
In dashboard, okay, the customization option not show anything, sir. And report.
Dashboard here in the screen customization you are seeing?
No, not this home screen dashboard.
You want to say in the
Which shows charts land, yeah.
In the settings only or at the main
dashboard, suggestion dashboard.
Suggestion dashboard.
If suppose I want to know the one, for example, May 1 to 15, I will select the date. How many suggestions received for checking? The dashboard is fully empty.
Okay, so here
the custom function is not worked properly.
Okay, so this one you are saying?
Yes.
Okay, so let me select something here. Let's say it's
for example, 1st May to 31st May.
Okay, so let's say 1st May, or let's say I'm considering the 2 months.
Right.
I'm applying it. Yeah, so I'm seeing something.
No, in our screen, everything go to blank.
Okay, so
if suppose I go to 1 month or 6 months, it will show.
Okay.
But our side, the customer's function is not work, may not work.
Okay.
And another one, if you suppose I raised any suggestion initiate, I forgot to add one more point. I'm not able to edit my suggestion.
Right. So if you see, what you can do is that edit is not possible, but controller can again reassign back to the employee to give the details. Okay, so here you can say if the employee submitted idea and controller wants to, or maybe employee can ask controller to send it back to them, so that they can update it again and then send it back to the controller again.
Okay, is it possible?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay, I will check and
controller has to reassign to the initiator.
Okay.
Yeah. So for this, Hariharan sir, I want your help. Can you just maybe give me the screenshot of the application, your login ID? So I'll just check it with the support and they will check it out why it is not showing at your end.
Okay, I will share a screen or give the login ID.
Yeah, only the login ID is on my mail ID, so that I'll ask my support team to check it out with you.
Okay.
With the
Hariharan K at simpson.co.in.
No, you have to just send me the mail, so that is good, rather than sharing it here.
Say okay, right.
Rajji.
Yes, sir.
Suresh, I think this selection of suggestions by date, the range, date range. This is one of the points which was discussed on 10th when we had the first meeting.
Okay.
I think it was noted down also as issues to be sorted out. Along with the selection search function, rather. You were supposed to come back by mid-June on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think you can just check with Sachin sir.
Okay, sir. So we will check it out And I'll let you know. Rakesh, please note it down this point.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That let me see. So we'll try to finish it in probably 5 minutes more because it's already been delayed. Probably we can extend this to the next 5-10 minutes, and we will have one more session like this by mid of this month. Okay, so we will gonna keep having these kind of sessions where we will discuss details and give the gist of it, what is going on, and what is the use of each and every feature. Okay. So pending task escalation, we have done it. Then we have evaluation point metrics point setup. Okay, this is I think I had to spend some good time over here. So what happens is that this is an evaluation matrix. Now for the productivity, you can you have certain particulars on that, right? So any Kaizen under the productivity, how you want to assess objectively, right, rather than subjective. So to remove that subjectivity, we are bringing this objective mechanism to make sure any Kaizen coming under the, let's say, various categories have certain things, and they are mapped with the certain brownie points. Okay. Now here, what I'm saying, productivity, avoid unwanted transportation waste is one of the part. Then reduced over processing, unwanted movements in the man or machine waste. Okay, these are some particulars that I've given. Now I'll go to the point mapping. In the point mapping, what I've given, I have given these particulars, certain points, certain brownie points associated with that. And then HUD applicable is not, or that is also we have given. Now, what happens when evaluator evaluates, and if that evaluator says that, okay, yes, this Kaizen is getting the benefits of the productivity. Now, what is benefits of within the productivity? So he may say that, okay, it is avoid unwanted transportation waste. Okay, when you say that, for that particulars, whatever the brownie points been assigned to the various roles, it will be given to that. So here, avoid unwanted transportation waste, implementer get 10 brownie points, employee get 2 brownie points. Okay, so likewise, you can define your particulars in various categories over here, and you can define what is the points that you want to have. Now, what is happening out of this is you will get to know what is the value of your Kaizen. Okay, so this is an evaluation matrix that you are setting up through this evaluation matrix point setup. So in the quality, we have the 3 kind of particulars. You can have 6 by your own. You can define your own particulars benefits over here. So likewise, let's say here I'm adding certain tangible and non-intangible. Okay, so likewise, I can define, if it is a tangible, you can define it's a brownie point mechanism over here. Okay, so this is one. Then the mandatory and target setup. I'll move on to the next one. So here you can see that what is mandatory and what is not mandatory. You can define it from here. Okay, activity, particulars, benefits, sustenance audit, HUD point, Kaizen sustenance audit, document verification. So let's say happiness index. If you define happiness index is on, okay, what happens is that it becomes mandatory for all your employees to give the happiness index input every day. Okay, so this is basically a small feature. Before after image, you make it mandatory. So here, without before and after image, system will not allow you to move forward. So this is a mandatory setup. Okay, once you enable it, it becomes mandatory. Now this is a part of the mandatory. Then the target setup, you can also define your targets and what is the value of that. Like for example, you are defining what is the MTTI. Now MTTI, you want to have it 1, or monthly total suggestions 5. Okay. Now here, you can have the department specific or also plant specific. Now I'm selecting the plant, Chapkan plant, and I'm saying, let's say, what is that? Now monthly implementation cost should be 60. Implementation cost is 60 in the sense, which maybe should be 60,000, 6 lakh. You can define whatever the value that you want to have it. What is the monthly saving cost? How much monthly saving cost target that you want to set up? So you can set up that target. So all these targets, you can see it in your dashboard. Okay, in this dashboard, this red line, you are seeing it, right? So this red line is nothing but your target. So here it's mentioned target 5, okay, target 1, right? Target, let's say 30. So likewise, you can define the targets over here. So while seeing the dashboard, you'll see what is your target and where you are falling. Okay. Now on hold authority setup, you can define who can resume that authority part back. Suggestion template setup. So this is a one-time activity. We have the 4-block summary. We have the standard. We have the pillar Kaizen. So you can choose whichever you want it, you like it. But almost information is filled with the all these things. Now suggestion jury setup. Now jury setup is again you have the jury panel members, okay, and this jury can individually assess the Kaizens and give certain brownie points. Certain scoring, and based on that scoring, top Kaizen is getting generated. Okay, so this is the setup of the jury system. Suggestion assessment setup. So again, this is an assessment. What kind of assessment that you have it? On which day of the month you have it? Assessment authority setup. Who is the authority assessment authority setup that you have to define it over here? This is a QR code. You can have the QR code for your plant. Okay, so this QR code you can keep it on your the reception area where employees can give the employee guest or customer feedback. Let's say guest suggestion. Now you want to get the suggestions from your guest. This is the QR code for them. You just print it, you put it in the reception area so that your people at the reception or the guests at the reception, they can submit the ideas over there, submit their feedback. Okay, you have to write it down that give us a suggestion for our improvement, so people can give it over there. Similarly, for the customer feedback, these are the QR codes. You can copy it, you can send it to the customer on the mobiles, you can send it to them, or maybe you can keep it in the accessible areas. So this is a QR code access system. There is a sustenance audit. You can define the audit frequency, like monthly, fortnightly, weekly. You can define the auditor, who will be auditors for the sustainability, where they check the results of the various Kaizens. Okay, so this is all about. I have touched base upon almost all the various parts of it. I hope. Thank you all. I think I will take some questions. I will be gonna hear, but those who are there since long, I will just consider that this training session has been done, and we'll keep on doing this kind of training sessions as we go ahead. So I will wait and we'll have certain questions if you have it. So and I consider that this is an end of the session, end of the training, but we'll have the question answer session now. Yes. Any questions? Or maybe you can suggest if you want any specific kind of training on various, specific modules. That also I will be, I'll be glad to take it, so that that will help all the organizations. Like for example, brownie point setup or any other things. Any queries? or any suggestions?
Hello, sir. This is Sujit from Jodali plant.
Yes.
Jodali.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, we're not able to transfer pending actions. What you have shown in your screen is not we have access transferring the pending session from our plant.
Okay, so Jodali, it is not.
Raj sir, basically that transfer functionality we released on cloud environment, but we didn't release it on Spicer. So Sujit sir, we soon we will release this functionality on Spicer environment also.
Yeah, so on the cloud, it has been already there. It's available, but those organizations who has on-premise deployment, it will take some time to deploy the code over there. So the new release will
also be nominating Kaizens, nominating best Kaizens. That's also we are not having yet.
No, Sujit sir, that functionality is already there.
No, sir. I have checked.
Yeah, we will take that.
We'll take offline and we'll check it.
Yes, you can always connect that. Yes, nice to see you all the Superadmins, those who are joining.
Thank you, sir. It's a great learning for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, nice to know, and we will keep doing these kind of sessions as and when. So you can suggest, what kind of sessions that you want to have it, or specifically any modules. So we will be gonna doing it for the audit, TPM, PMS, skill book, all the modules as we weekly basis.
Sir, I need one support. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rajji. I think we have got it. Whatever information is required. Going forward, we require a little bit of hand holding as we go forward.
Yeah.
Because throughout the journey, we come across problems and encounter problems. Probably solutions for that. We'll get back to you definitely.
Definitely, sir. We will be gonna there, and we'll make sure that things are in place. Yes, definitely. There are a lot of small features that can be enabled and play around with that. It is also the part of the learning where a lot of things are there. We need to just so all these training sessions we have recording it. We have recorded sessions of this, so we will share it with all of you so that even if new person joins or maybe somebody is not able to attend today's session, they can always go through it and they can check it out.
Thank you so much, Raji.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Sujit sir, you're talking something.
Hello, sir. Actually, one support we needed in our company. Most of new people, new joiners are joined. Are there. I want for whatever employee for suggestion raiser basic knowledge. That training I needed, sir. Actually, can you arrange that one?
Yes. So
or all over employee, all employees.
Sure. So what I'll do, it's basically you want training for the employees, right?
Yes, sir.
How to download the maybe how to log in.
From basic, even for raising session, what are the flow, all things.
Okay, fine. So we'll have one more session. So maybe I'll let you know. I will arrange for all of them. We will give the list.
This session for only Superadmins.
Yeah, right? This is for Superadmin.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I want for all employees.
Yes, for all employees, like employee-specific training, we will be gonna have it. So I will communicate to you in coming days.
Okay, sir. Thank
you. Yeah. Okay. Any queries?
Sir, any language option? Tamil, English?
For
initiate the some of employees not able to type English.
Okay.
Especially my concern. So the employees are suffered. I don't know English. How can I create suggestions? Please give the Tamil fonts.
Okay. So let me show you this here. So you can ask them. There is a language support. Okay, on the mobile as well as on the portal side. If you go to the portal and the profile, I'll just show you. Let's say this is the Rakesh Kumar. If I go to the profile, Okay. So there is a language support. So Hindi, Marathi, Tamil. So if you are thinking Tamil,
okay,
you can go to Tamil and update the profile. So this is the language change will happen.
right.
Okay. Same is there in your mobile app also. They can go to the profile and just select the language that they want to have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So what is your name, sir? I'm not able to see. It's showing 8240. Hello.
Hello.
What is your name, sir? Your name showing
That 8240 means my employee ID. My name is K. Hariharan.
K. Hariharan. Okay.
Yes, from Simpson Company.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. If we don't have any questions, then we can confirm the closure of the today's session. Okay, thank you all. Thanks for being there, and we will keep on this, taking these kind of sessions, knowledge sessions hereafter also. Still, if you have any queries, you can drop a mail to the Rupali. We have the WhatsApp groups, we have email communications. So if you are not part of the WhatsApp group, you can ask your maybe the super admin, the point of contact, to add you there into the system, so that we will be in touch with you. So thank you again, thank you, and have a good day. Thank you, Rakesh. Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. Thank you, Rasuraj sir. Thank you, Ishwar sir. Nandri ma'am, Prasanna sir, and Sujit sir. See you. Bye bye. Good day.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.